little bit time and worked a little presentation for you. But let me tell you this small story. Now, Seema shared a very interesting story, but I have another story to it. So how I met Shirley. Me and Shirley met at an event, then we met at another event, and then we met at another event, and then we met at another event.
This is crazy.
And then finally we thought that we need to exchange cards. I mean, enough is enough. So we met at a fundraising event, we went to a woman organization event, we went for a Facebook event, everywhere. And then finally she said, hey, Deepika, you have to come and talk to my group. These are Asian women, these are really fantastic people. Come and talk to them. I said, that sounds like an exciting idea. I'm really excited. When can we do that? And that just didn't happen for 6 months. And then we met again. And this time I was in an office. I had never imagined she'll walk into me, right? I mean, it was not a networking event. So she walks in, and I'm like, Shirley! And we're hugging each other. And all these men were in the office like, what went wrong? So she's like, oh, I have 13th September, nail it now. I'm like, okay, done. So there we are. Then she sends me an email, says, hey, I have to tell you something. The co-founder of APWT is Seema. I'm like, Seema Gururaj, like the person that I know from. And then Seema writes to her email and says, do you remember me from RBC? I'm like, yeah, sure. Of course. And then I'm like, what else you've been telling Shirley now?
Kind of compare notes.
And the world is so small. It's so fascinating how things happen. And it's just like, I don't believe that me meeting Shirley was coincidence. It wasn't an accident. How many times the universe actually made us interact so that I was here today. And guess what happened for me? I mean, the story doesn't end here. So I'm really struggling to come up with my book name, and I've got all these stories I have to tell you all and write to this. I really want to share all these stories, and I'm like, no, I'm not really getting that title. So I'm working, and then she calls me, so have you come up with the title of your talk? I'm like, there you go. Now I have to come up with something. And you know what they did? They said, you can talk about anything. I'm like, now that's a whole wide universe. I mean, I could talk about advertising, marketing, business management. So, you know what? Then I said, okay, fine. This is my chance to grab the universe signal that come up with your book title. And so I called them up. I was like, Shirley, what about I introduce my book for the first time on your platform? And she said, yeah, that sounds interesting. Tell me what's more about your book. And I'm like, I'll send you the draft by the end of the weekend. And so she actually became catalyst. And Seema, and then I talked to Seema and said, Seema, I'm thinking about these things. What do you think? She said, fascinating, let's do it. So you see how they actually became the catalyst for me to come up with my chapter 1. And now I actually spoke about it to a publisher, and 2 of them are actually interested.
Wow.
So this is how fascinating what Kimberly said is the idea of that dream, of speaking it, and then being able to take it to the next level. So let me just try this. I'm not very good with electronic items, even though I'm electronics. Okay, so who am I? Well, this is me, but I have a story to tell here as well. There's a funny story. When you are young, you're 7 years old, or even younger, your kids, parents take you to learn swimming, right? I mean, all of us have been there. So my father, he wanted to teach us swimming, and I was born in all girls family. I mean, and that's for a reason too. I mean, we have 3 daughters. So he used to take us swimming. And every time, in India, when you're growing up, the pools are not like 3 feet across the board. They're like 3, 6, 10, 13. Okay? And that's how it is. I mean, if ever anybody has been to Indian pools, that's how the depth increases. So my father, I was like, okay, I used to love water. I still love water. I love swimming. So I used to go swimming, I'm like playing with the kids in the 3 feet and 4 feet, and I can touch the swimming pool, and I'm very happy. I'm feeling safe. He would say, come, let me teach you some strokes, and he would, help me maneuver myself, and then take me to the far end of the pool. And thanks to Mom, we're still alive, because she would yell, what the hell are you doing? Are you doing that? And then suddenly, you know, that dad had this habit. Every time we would go swimming every Sunday, and he would take us to the far end. It started 6 feet, then was like, go to 10 feet. And every time I'm like literally drowning and like, shit, like, this is crazy. I'm like, I would go back to school and I tell my friends, you know, I've got this weird family. You know, I don't know what's up with my dad, because other kids' dad, they're really nice. They don't want their kids to drown, but you know. You know, he has this habit, he just goes and just leaves us there, and if mom wasn't there, we would be probably no more. And then, you know what happened? Like, it happened for like 8, 9 times. And the 10th time what happened is on the 13th feet, I actually swam. I squealed with delight. Guess what? The next day I went to school like every kid. You know what? I can swim in 13 feet. We've all been there, right? I mean, I was 7-year-old. I don't do that anymore. let's get that straight. But you know what it gave me? I mean, that gave me was that skill and a faith and confidence and autonomy to experience that at such a young age. Like, you know what, I could do it. But yeah, it took a certain percentage of discomfort. But I was feeling so excited that I had achieved the world. That was the top of the Mount Everest. Like, you know, I've done it, I'm happy. So that brings us to the topic, you know, rich. So I'm going to ask you from a show of hands what rich means to you. So does anybody want to share something? Kimberly.
Abundance. Plenty of everything I want and need, and plenty to share.
Very nice. Anybody else? Come on, girls, I'll pick on you.
Yeah, pick on them.
Yes.
Happiness.
Happiness. Anybody else? Come on. Yes.
Emotionally generous.
Emotionally generous. Okay.
Highest degree of freedom.
Degree of freedom. Absolutely one of my favorite words. Anybody else? Come on. Okay.
Money.
Money. Thank you. Let's get this straight. Merriam-Webster, I took up that dictionary and put it here. I mean, they really say having abundant possessions and especially material wealth. I mean, that's all from the money, right? But then there's a skill. That also is considered rich. I mean, you know, richness as in abundance. You know, you have to be open to it. Yeah. Yeah, the whole wild universe is enriched with so many things that we can't even possibly imagine. But yeah, our mind has been trained to think about richness with, you know, how much I have in my savings account.
Yes.
So, you know, I want to really bring forth for you that please do not misunderstand me when I say, hey, it's not all about money. You know, the next time your mortgage payment comes, it's all about money. The abundance, spiritual connection, and the banks want your money. You know, the next time there's a bill in the mail, I mean, please don't count on me. Like, you know, there's things we have to take care. So, we all want money. I am not denying that. That is a human need. I mean, that's a source of power. It's a source of power that helps us sometimes create new things,